And talking about the big story this evening, as the CBI begins its probe into the cash for query scandal, tensions are rising. The war of words between BJP MP Nishikant Dubey and TMC MP Mahua Moitra has reached a crescendo. Nishikant Dubey has claimed that Moitra's income tax returns for the past 4 years reveal that her income can't match the extravagant spending, including luxury items and travel. He has repeated allegations that Moitra's actions have put India's national security at risk, all for a paltry sum of money. Nishikant Dubey also accused Mahua Moitra of name-calling despite her history of corruption. This, remember, comes after Mahua Moitra launched an unsparing attack on the Lokpal panel for recommending a CBI probe against her. Calling the body headless, she said that Lokpal has had no chairman since May 2022 and 3 of the 8 member posts are also vacant. The TMC alleges that the CBI inquiry against their own members is another instance of the Modi government misusing central agencies to target those who speak against them. Listen in.
This is a concerted effort. It's like a witch hunt to harass a Trinamool Congress MP. See, this is to harass Trinamool Congress also. This is to harass Bengal too. Our leader Mamata Banerjee has again said that this entire process also a process of malign. Also a process again, it is a political witch hunt, political vendetta, and those who could not win in Bengal, those who will not win in Bengal. So it's all a process of that. The CBI and the enforcement agencies are not being used. They are being misutilized.
People of India, they have become used to it. They know it very well that the more we proceed towards 2024 parliament election, the more there will be probes of CBI and ED, especially in the opposition ruled states and against the opposition leaders, and not a single investigation will find the daylight. It has become crystal clear that this CBI and ED, these are being implemented, these agencies are being utilized against the opposition political parties across the country.
Citing a breach of rules, the BJP calls for Mahua Moitra's expulsion from parliament and imprisonment, alleging she shared her login ID.
বিঘ্নিত করে পাসওয়ার্ড বিদেশে দিয়েছেন। দুবাই ছিল মহুয়া মৈত্র সেন্টার, তাই এই অ্যান্টি ন্যাশনাল অ্যাক্টিভিটিজের জন্য মহুয়া মৈত্রর শুধু সাংসদ পদ বাতিল নয়, আগামী 5টা ভোট যাতে দাঁড়াতে না পারে তার ব্যবস্থা হওয়া উচিত এবং জেলে যাওয়া উচিত।
देखो, पार्लियामेंट की कमेटी है, तो इस कमेटी ने भी जब सिफारिश कर दी है, सर्वप्रथम तो उनकी सदस्यता से उनको मुक्त करना चाहिए और ममता जी को आगे बढ़कर कहना चाहिए इस बात को लेकर, अगर वो संविधान में विश्वास रखती हैं तो। क्योंकि ये नया केस नहीं है, इससे भी पहले भी सवाल पूछने के मामले को लेकर कुछ सांसदों ने पैसे लिए थे, उन पर आरोप लगे थे, उनकी सदस्यता गई है आज से 10 साल पहले। तो मोइत्रा के लिए कोई दुनिया में अलग कानून तो बनेगा नहीं, उनके लिए अलग पैमाने तो बनेंगे नहीं, लेकिन सीबीआई भी उसकी जांच करे कि उनका जो लेन देन हुआ है, इनडायरेक्ट वे में हुआ है, जो उन्होंने खुद गिफ्ट लिए हैं, वो किस होटल में ठहरी हैं, होटल का खर्चा किसने दिया है, और अपना सीक्रेट क्वेश्चन का जो वो था, अकाउंट था, वो उन्होंने एक व्यापारी को दे दिया।
Let's quickly open this up with our guest joining us this evening. We have with us Priyanka Tibrewal, BJP spokesperson, along with TMC spokesperson Dr. Riju Dutta. Ms. Tibrewal, my first question is to you. How would you respond to what the TMC is accusing the BJP of as we speak? One, of course, comes the direct attack from Mahua Moitra aimed at the Lokpal. Says neither has Lokpal uploaded any referral order on the website, nor has the CBI put out any anything official so far. More so talks about how there's been no chairman to Lokpal since 2022 May. You know, these kind of questions being raised by Mahua Moitra, and the TMC says this is an attempt by the BJP once again to misuse agencies because they can't win elections in West Bengal, not yesterday, not tomorrow. That's why all of this is being done.
They always cry foul. They always cry foul when they are on the other end. But you see, Mahua Moitra will get all the answers once she is behind the bars. Now, expulsion and imprisonment are the necessity and the need of the hour. Why? To set an example that when you are a people's representative, people have trusted you to go there, ask questions for them. But on the other hand, you go and in lieu of things, in lieu of money or cash, and for that matter, gifts, you go and ask questions. So those questions were not from the people, but for your political and personal benefit. You know, in the disguise of a political opposition, you have questioned. And the questions are always welcomed. But certain questions which were asked in the interest of somebody who was Hiranandani here, and you have placed those questions. Now, see, there was, a question where she has accepted, and there is no denial. Let me place this. There was no denial. She accepted of sharing her credentials with Hiranandani. But now here we see, after the investigation is on, we have seen multiple logins from New Jersey, from United States of America, from Bangalore, when Miss Moitra was present in Delhi and Kolkata.
Multiple logins.
Then this,
and countries apart, and within a minute. What explains this, Riju Dutta? And so far, Mahua Moitra has not been able to prove that she's nowhere to be blamed. She's not been held guilty, yes, but there are several questions aimed at her, including how, the Lok Sabha ethics panel report has, the panel has adopted the report, the findings of the report that Ms. Tibrewal is also talking about. Apart from that, Mahua Moitra herself admitting to having shared her login ID. There are several questions that are being aimed at her directly, and so far she's not come out clean either.
The answer is very simple. You see, in this country, every child in this country knows that BJP is a party that is still standing because it is reliant on its two crutches, which is the ED and the CBI. And they are doing this in every non-BJP run states where they have lost an election. So the bottom line is, Mahua Moitra, one of the strongest voices in the parliament, has not only raised questions, but has unmasked the illegal nexus between Mr. Narendra Modi and BJP and Mr. Gautam Adani. तो इन लोगों, अगर आप इनके मालिक के ऊपर सवाल करोगे तो इनको तो लगेगा ही. So they have to shut her up. The question is not that the CBI should inquire Mahua Moitra regarding cash for query. The CBI inquiry.
But is it ethical? Is it ethical to take bribe in lieu of those questions aimed at another businessman?
My question is this: where was the bribe? Like I said, the CBI should not be inquiring Mahua Moitra on cash for query. The CBI should be inquiring cash for not query. How many parliamentarians of the BJP have taken money from Gautam Adani for not asking questions? That should be probed here.
Okay.
Mahua Moitra had to be shut
Ms.
up.
Tibrewal, had every question aimed at Mahua Moitra. Another question is aimed at Gautam Adani. There is no answering to what has been asked of Mahua Moitra. But why is the BJP not going after XYZ?
Listen to me, I have answers to all of them. Now, the Chief Minister of Bengal had invited Gautam Adani on the last year in the Business Bengal Summit, but he refused to invest in Bengal. So she is the reason she put Mahua behind him, that he is not investing. Go after him. Take gifts, do whatever, to just go against him, do whatever you can. Now, recently, my friend has just mentioned two names, and I'm giving you the answer. One was Adani, the other is Ambani. So Adani was the past, Ambani is the present. This recent summit, we have seen that Ambani has been welcomed in Bengal, and next year they will again come against Ambani. They will cry foul, that Ambani is doing this, Ambani is doing that, because no businessmen will come and invest in Bengal. And the reason is,
Okay, so that's one question being raised by Priyanka Tibrewal. I have another question for you, Riju Dutta, and you can perhaps answer them together. The other question being the TMC in the beginning, when the first set of allegations came in, when Mahua Moitra was first cornered with all of these heavy allegations, remember the TMC said we're going to wait for the probe to conclude. How is it that the TMC today is all of a sudden so very convinced about Mahua Moitra's innocence?
I'll give you both answers one by one. First answer is, see, we gave the LOI for the Tajpur deep sea port to Mr. Gautam Adani. Then the Hindenburg report came out, and then we found out that he's involved in not only multiple scams. Can I finish, please? Yeah, I cannot do a debate like this. Can I finish?
Priyanka, let him complete. Let him complete himself. I'm coming back to you, Priyanka.
So the second point is, after the Hindenburg report came out, there are a lot of other scams where Adani is the main perpetrator of coal scam in India. So it is the West Bengal government that has cancelled the LOI against Gautam Adani, because one thing is for sure, that Gautam Adani has the money to purchase Narendra Modi and Amit Shah, not Mamata Banerjee or Mahua Moitra. Now your second question I'm answering here, why that Trinamool Congress was not beside her. Trinamool Congress was beside her from day one. But what we said, and I will jog your memory and the viewers who are watching here. Trinamool Congress said because the allegations were against the rights and privileges of a particular MP, we want the appropriate forum of the parliament to investigate this issue. But when the appropriate forum of the parliament started investigating, these rabid, wild animals of the BJP started asking a woman, where were you last night? Whom were you sleeping with? Whom were you talking in the night? So these chauvinists of the BJP have showed their true color, and now we know that a Lokpal, which was non-existent in India,
Again, Mr. Riju Dutta, that's one version you're going by. You're going by the version of all of those who were standing in support of Mahua Moitra and who were against the view as was been put out by the report of the ethics panel committee. There is the other side which says it is Mahua Moitra who misbehaved. So who do we trust? We can't clearly trust anybody at the moment. We have to wait for a probe to conclude. But before I go across to Priyanka with that last comment, Mr. Riju Dutta, what explains the fact that there are several questions aimed at her? Are you telling me that is it okay for a person to share her Lok Sabha login credentials with somebody, with the ethics panel in its report clearly saying that she was not even present there while her login was being used? And we're not talking about India here. We're talking about several countries apart from Dubai.
Thank you. Now, say for instance, I will make it as simple as possible. Say for instance, I go to your studio and I hit your cameraman on the nose. I will be booked under section IPC. Why? Because there's a particular section for it, that you cannot raise hand on somebody. Now, if that IPC section was not there, can you call it a crime? I am asking this. Did the parliamentary norms, rules and regulations have any SOP that an MP cannot share her ID, password and credentials? Point number one. Point number two, after the Mahua Moitra was investigated by the ethics committee, why did the parliament barely 17 days ago came out with a notice that from henceforth, none of the parliamentarians, irrespective of any political party, cannot share their password with even their secretaries? So it shows that Mahua Moitra was right. There was no SOP. Even in your office, if there is no SOP that sharing your ID password with your colleagues is a crime, then how can I tell you that you have committed a criminal act? Or how can I say you are wrong? There is no goddamn SOP.
Unfortunately, we can't compare a journalist to a parliamentarian, sir. We're not such great people. We really can't do that. Last 20 seconds to Priyanka Tibrewal to quickly respond to you. I need to head into a break.
So the Trinamool dacoits and thieves, they want that, when they have sharing information with unregistered persons, that should not be questioned. They want that, please don't question us. Don't compare our incomes, our lavish lifestyle with whatever we are earning. Don't compare.
Well, the bottom line being, now that a preliminary probe has been ordered by the CBI, she can't be arrested. Yes, the CBI, upon the findings, can file an FIR, and that's another story for another day. Let's see how this plays out. Many thanks, Priyanka and Riju Dutta, for joining us this evening. With that, a short break.